Welcome back and good morning once again. You're still watching The Breakfast Show, and as we said in the beginning, today we are going to be discussing the role of NGOs in the Egyptian community. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Rotary here in Egypt. The Rotary community now consists of about 1.2 million members, and it was first established with the vision of one man, and that is Paul P. Harris. The Chicago attorney formed one of the world's first service organizations, the Rotary Club of Chicago, on the 23rd of February in 1905, and it was a place where professionals with diverse backgrounds could exchange ideas and form meaningful, lifelong friendships. Now, the Rotary's name came from the group's early practice of rotating meetings among the offices of each member, and Rotary is now an international organization with a very active community here in Egypt. This morning, we're pleased to be joined by our guest from the Rotary in Egypt, Ayoub Mahmoud Ayoub, Rotary International Public Image Coordinator for North Africa, the Middle East, and South Europe. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ayoub.
Good morning.
And we will start with an information from you about the Rotary in Egypt. When did it start? And the community of the Rotarian in Egypt, how big they are now?
Yes, in fact, the Rotary in Egypt has begun 1922-29, so it is almost 84 years old now in Egypt.
Wow.
It has spread from Alexandria, Port Said to Luxor. We have 75 clubs in Egypt, about more than 2,200 Rotarians. The numbers fluctuates a bit, but now it is more than 2,000. They are working in community service in 6 areas which we are focusing on, beside polio. When we handle polio or speak about polio, we are very proud with what Rotary International has made about polio. We have began the vaccination campaigns all over the world, so that until now we find that the number of those infected with polio is just 1% of what it has been in 1986. As far as Egypt is concerned, Egypt was declared polio-free in 2006, but we have to be careful. It is a trans-border, this polio spreads across the borders, so we have to be careful about that. We have had many community service projects in Egypt. What we are focusing on, we are focusing on 6 areas of focus. First, literacy, and we all know what literacy is like in Egypt. Second, community development, and our community needs a lot of development. Third, health and prevention of diseases, and we are doing a lot in this respect. Fourth, motherhood and childhood, and who deserves all our effort more than motherhood and childhood. Fifth, clean water, which is very important. It is a big problem not only for Egypt. You go to the countryside, see how water is. So the number 6, let us finish it all. Peace and conflict resolution. I speak in our community. I am not speaking about other countries. In our community, these are our 6 areas of focus beside polio eradication in the world.
Now, if we speak about Rotary here in Egypt, what makes it different from other NGOs in the country?
Yes. First, we are not a charity organization. We are a community service organization.
Can you distinguish the difference, please?
Yes.
For the audience.
Charity organization has something to do with religions or factions or so, or this or that. But for us, we are just a community service organization. All the religions, all genders, all professions, respectable professions are parts of our Rotary membership, and this is a big difference. This is number 1. Number 2, when we have a project, we do it ourselves. So we minimize the cost, which is very important. Why? Because members of Rotary are professionals. So they use their resources, their know-how, their connections to cut the costs down for any project which we do in Egypt all over the world.
Sir, how do the Rotarians contribute in helping the community? What's your role as the coordinator between Egypt and North Africa and many other countries, and the role of the Egyptian Rotarians in helping the community?
Yes. In fact, what is happening now is that at the old days, we did not care for the public image or public relations or the media, let us say media, which was a big mistake from our side. Now we came to the conclusion we have to care for the public image of Rotary, outreach to media, connections with the intelligentsia, with the officials, with Rotary clubs. This is the role of the public image coordinators. Coordinates the efforts so that to give the public a chance to know what Rotary is and what Rotary does. We put it in a small pin. This is the pin beside our Rotary pin. I spoke about polio eradication. We are not a supranational, or we are national organization in Egypt. We put it in Arabic, لا لشل الأطفال, or end the polio now, as we put it like this. It is that small. It is just the last inch which we are working on now to get rid of polio in the world. This thanks to the contributions of Islamic Development Bank, contribute $275 million for Pakistan. $275 million. Saudi Arabia, government of Saudi Arabia, $15 million. Prince Walid ibn Talal, $30 million.
Wow.
Even corporations, $1 million from a Iraqi corporation. Naguib Sawiris have contributed some years back in polio eradication in Egypt. We are very pleased with that, and we hope that other corporates and individuals will contribute strongly so that we can get rid of polio in the world. If we come to the polio in Egypt, we have had projects and Rotarians, what they have done in Egypt. I will give just an example. There are a lot of examples, but I'll give you just example which explains what we are doing and to whom we are doing it. If we go to our Rish Hospital, Cairo University in Sayyida Zainab, we brought them complete unit incubator, and for the neonates, that's children who are born 6 months or 7 months or something like that, so they need this incubator.
Underweight, for example, or have some kind of sickness or disease.
This is one. The same thing happened in Dar Ismail Hospital in Alexandria. We did the same thing. We gave them the ventilators. I wanted, or I hoped, I was hoping that we can get 1 ventilator for them, but we got, unlike for that, 3. It's just 3 ventilators for Dar Ismail Hospital in Alexandria. A lot of projects, mainly in literacy. The Rotary does not educate people in the traditional way of education, no. We have our own way, which is called concentrated language encounter, so that we connect the student or man or woman or whatever age with his community, with his environment. So he tends to absorb literacy in just 8 months. We have a literate person from age of 5 to age of 60. We are doing that from Al-Adesat in Luxor, قرية المجد in Bahira, Dar es-Salam, الحرفيين, منشية ناصر in Cairo, Kom Ushim in and Birak al-Khayyam in Fayoum, Bani Suif. All over Egypt we are spreading the word of literacy. But let us be clear about that. We cannot do all the job alone. We need Rotarians, more Rotarians. We need more contributions. We have concluded an agreement protocol with National Council for Literacy of Adults, جهاز القومي لتعليم الكبار. And this month we got 2 million Egyptian pounds and 800.
From the government? Or?
No, not. It is not from the government. It is not from the government. From a cellular Vodafone company.
From telecommunication.
From telecommunication server. Another one from pharmaceutical company, 850,000 Egyptian pounds. So now we have almost about 4 million Egyptian pounds for community development and literacy in Egypt.
Wow.
It's from corporation. We are very pleased with that. They will not have done that or given that contribution to Rotary unless they were sure that it will bring the desired result. We have a goal and we agree that we can achieve this goal because we have proven successes in many areas in Cairo, Alexandria, in the countryside, Mansoura, Dumyat, Port Said, even Suez. We did not have a Rotary Club in Suez, but someone called me, Ayoub, you say that you are concerned with public image. I said, yes, I am. Well, poor community at Arab al-Ammarin in 60 kilometers south to Suez. Can you give them blankets, even second-hand blankets? It is winter. Winter is coming. When you hear this, it just moves your heart.
Indeed.
So, thanks to contributions of 6 or 7 Rotarians and the clubs, I got 500 blankets, new blankets, not second-hand. Delivered it to them. When the flash memory which I gave you sheds light on things which we are doing. I hope that we can.
Yes, we showed some of the videos. Some of the
this was in January 16, January 2011. You know, at that time, who dares go outside Cairo alone?
We are seeing now footages for many of the Rotary activities.
Yes, it is God's will.
Now it seems like some of the Rotarians working in the Egyptian Rotary are very active and very dedicated members. I wanted you to talk to us about the mechanisms of working within the Rotary. I mean, you capitalize on the diversity of your members. You mentioned that you always try to mobilize different members with different fields of expertise and experience so that they can serve different causes with different projects within Rotary. Can you speak to us about that and discuss further the mechanisms of working within the organization?
Yes. We focus on some area which needs rehabilitation. Infant, for example, or literacy in some areas which no other NGO have ventured to go. We choose the hard and difficult targets. Why? Because they are the most needy, and anything which we do there will be clearly reflected on the community. We collect the money from our members mainly, and we will come to financing later on. But we collect the money, we'll come in details later on. Collect the money, see the budget, and each Rotarian should play a role in this project. That is, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is given a job. It is not a one-man show. It is not a one-man show. We have club president, each 12 months we have the president in Rotary, just for 12 months. So, collect the money, do the budget, agree on it. It is a very democratic organization, by the way, very democratic. Implement it and follow up. Sometimes we have some donors who are
outside the Rotary?
Yes, outside the Rotary, yes. We have donors. We also depend upon donors. But the donors are not for the Rotary. Donors for project. Donors for polio eradication. Donors for literacy. Donors for infant health. There's donor for a project, not for the Rotary.
For a specific...
for a specific project, a specific area, a specific time. And they should follow up with us so that at the end we appreciate what they have done for Rotary, what they have done for the community, and in this way the mechanism is a compact, democratic, clear and transparent, and there is a follow-up, and we welcome follow-up from any organization or government authority.
Indeed, sir. Now we will talk about the financing of the Rotary. How do you get financed for your different projects?
Well, to give you, we speak about figures now. I was a commercial attaché or minister commercial for some time, so figures are very important for me to calculate. Rotary International has paid $1.2 billion for polio eradication. Where did it come from? From Rotarians, from corporations, from governments, from banks, from the public as a whole. When we come to a Rotary club, we have 75 clubs in Egypt.
Yeah.
We air the project, make some coverage about it, show what it is, what the cost, who will do the job, who will do the job. And the money should be put in a bank. We don't take any money in our hands.
Out of transparency.
Yes, it should be in the bank. Put in the bank, and any disbursements or expenses should be outlays from the bank. So why? So that it can be easily checked by anyone. This is number one. Number two, most of the Rotarians, as I mentioned, are professionals. So they render their service free of charge. They give out their connections free of charge. Even their staff, they work in this project free of charge. That's why I say, in most cases, the projects which Rotary does, about 60% of the cost of any other organization. And still, we cooperate with other NGOs. We cooperating with our Orman. Last week, I was in Fayoum giving school bags, copybooks, shoes, socks, and implements for the school children. You can't imagine the feeling, your feeling or my feeling, when you see the smile on the face of the girl or the boy, school boy, at 6 or 7 years old, with his Rotary bag.
Now, our final question for you, sir, is about the role, the importance of the role of NGOs in developing the country. Of course, as we know, there are a lot of issues, unfortunately, that are being kind of hindered or ignored by the government. So where does the NGOs come in, and the importance of actually developing countries?
It is a very good question. Thank you for that. NGOs are emerging as a power, a service power. No government in the world can do everything for its community, be it in Japan, in America, South Africa, or Alaska. Who fills the gap? NGOs. NGOs are getting more power now. They are mobilizing resources, doing it properly, and as NGO, as you mentioned in the beginning, we are 108 years old. We are in 200 countries now. United Nations have about 190, 192 members. Rotary is in 200 countries in the world. Why? Because it serves the communities without any involvement or taking sides in politics or religion. Let us be clear about that. We don't take sides. We respect religions, we respect political allegiances, but we are never a part of it, and we don't take part of it. So NGOs is having a vital role, and the role is increasing every day.
Mr. Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, the Rotary International Public Image Coordinator for North Africa, Middle East and South Europe. It was a pleasure to have you with us, sir, and have a good morning.
Thank you. We are at your service, serving those who need it at the time of need. Thank you.
We wish you all the luck with your future endeavors, you and the Rotarians.
We are doing it for Egypt. And polio now, we are this close to finish polio from the world.
Oh, inshallah. Thank you so much, sir. Right now we're going to go into a quick break with a feature report with our Dina Yunus. I'll be right back with more, so please stay tuned.